you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president, focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here, with the help of my colleagues here. I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can move forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement.
What happened to all that tough talk, Mark? The betrayal of the United States. Our relationship with them is over. It's real easy to talk tough when you're in front of all your brain-dead, radical, lunatic left minions. But when he's face to face with the boss man, look at him kowtow. Look at him praise. Look at him act like a pretty little butterfly. Holy mackerel. Now, this meeting, so just to give you some contextual understanding of what happened today, President Trump, in his always hospitable, always warm, always welcoming, always inviting manner, has hosted today, earlier today, the newly elected Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. And it wasn't as tense as the one with Pipsqueak Zelensky. But I got to tell you something. It wasn't that far off. Trump, as he always does, owned the complete room. He was charismatic. He was engaging. He was enthralling. He was humorous. He was full of vitality. But his response to a nervous, I would say a twitchy, fidgety, nervous Mark Carney, which is typical of these weak, feeble, radical leftist, lunatic Leninists who've never achieved anything in their lives. They're just good at lying to people and brainwashing people. That's their only skill. Like any good con artist, like any good backstabber, they're really good at galvanizing mutant, mongoloid, brain-dead lunkheads. That's what they're really good at. To his face, he responds when reporters ask him, what do you think of Mark Carney saying, Canada's not for sale? The response was just absolutely glorious. And I've got a whole other, he said he also made an announcement saying we've got something really, really big that he's going to announce. He says probably the biggest thing ever. I'm going to share that clip with you as well, so stick around for that. You don't want to go anywhere. First, something a little light. Listen to President Trump here where he talks about, first of all, he welcomes Mark Carney in his beautiful, inviting fashion. He says, how do you like the new Oval Office? And he talks about the 24-karat gold. Watch this.
And, it's an honor to have you at the White House and the Oval Office. And you see the new and improved Oval Office as it becomes more and more beautiful. With love, we handle it with great love, and 24-karat gold. That always helps too, right? But it's been a lot of fun. We're going over some of the beautiful pictures that were stored in the vaults that were for many, many years. In some cases, over 100 years.
That 24-karat gold, that doesn't hurt either, right? Think of it. We got a lot of gold, big, beautiful gold. I mean, how do you not love this guy? How do you not love this guy? He's always got like the humor. I just love that clip. Here's just a prime example of Trump owning the room when reporters ask about, doing business with Canada. This is just fantastic. Watch this. This is what we want. This is what we voted for. A leader with balls. Watch this.
During the campaign, Prime Minister Carney talked about the American betrayal. How do you react if Canada decided not to shop in the American store as much as before and decided to partner with other countries?
Well, we don't do much business with Canada from our standpoint. They do a lot of business with us. We're at like 4%. And usually those things don't last very long. We have great things, great product. The kind of product we sell, nobody else can sell.
I just love that. Unabashed, in your face. No. Hold up. Hold the phones here. We don't do business with Canada. They have the privilege and honor of doing business with us. that kind of American badassery, that kind of American reverence, the spirit that spawned the greatest nation to ever come into fruition and existence in all mankind has been missing, my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens for that matter, because whoever leads this amazing republic, the greatest country of all time, the United States of America, is the leader of the free world, naturally and as it should be. And the way that he's doing it, he's bringing back a ghost of American pride that has been lost. And it starts at home. It starts with leadership. It starts all the way at the top. And I just love how he is just bringing this reinvigoration, putting the Declaration of Independence in the Oval Office, renaming Gulf of Mexico, which actually officially, the executive order officially now has been ratified by Congress. So it is official. It is the Gulf of America. Those tiny, they're not tiny, but all those details plus his brashness, I mean, that I think is an exemplification of the spirit of 76, the true spirit. We're coming up on our 250-year national celebration of this glorious republic. It just makes me so happy. It makes me so, I got flames of red, white, and blue coming out of every pore. It makes me so, so happy. Let me know what you think. And if you're still not convinced, listen to Trump. It's really about positioning. It's about perspective. More important than anything, it's about authenticity and energy. I guarantee you no other YouTube channel, conservative commentator, whatever, political commentator has the energy that I bring. Nobody does. Not a one. That's why you're here. Watch Trump, who completely is congruent with me and exactly what I stand for and exactly what you stand for. Watch as he proves yet again, you don't mess with the USA. You don't even think about it. Watch this.
Just to finish, we also have a situation, because everyone says, when are you going to sign deals? We don't have to sign deals. We could sign 25 deals right now, Howard, if we wanted. We don't have to sign deals. They have to sign deals with us. They want a piece of our market. We don't want a piece of their market. We don't care about their market. They want a piece of our market. So we can just sit down, and I'll do this at some point over the next 2 weeks, and I'll sit with Howard and Scott and with our great vice president, who has done a really good job. We have some good news to report on a lot of fronts, but JD will be there and Marco, and we're going to sit down and we're going to put very fair numbers down, and we're going to say, here's what this country, what we want, and congratulations, we have a deal. And they'll either say, great, and they'll start shopping, or they'll say, not good, we're not going to do it. And I said, that's okay, you don't have to shop. Now, we may think, well, they have a right, that maybe we were a little bit wrong, so we'll adjust it. And then you people will say, oh, it's so chaotic. No, we're flexible. But we'll sit down and we'll, at some point, in some cases, we'll sign some deals. It's much less important than what I'm talking about. For the most part, we're just going to put down a number and say, this is what you're going to pay to shop. And it's going to be a very fair number. It'll be a low number. We're not looking to hurt countries. We want to help countries. We want to be friendly with countries. But you keep writing about deals. When are we going to sign? When? It's very simple. We're going to say, in some cases, we want you to open up your country. In some cases, we want you to drop your tariffs. I mean, India, as an example, has one of the highest tariffs in the world. We're not going to put up with that. And they've agreed already to drop it. They'll drop it to nothing. They've already agreed. They would have never done that for anybody else but me. So we're going to put down some numbers, and we're going to say our country is open for business. And they're going to come in, and they're going to pay for the privilege of being able to shop in the United States of America. It's very simple.
Boy, oh boy, are we just that? That is strength. That is veneer. That is reverence. That is power. And it just makes me so. This was the most insane election of my lifetime. And I'm not saying that hyperbolically. I'm not saying that dramatically. Thank God the American people chose the right person. Okay, here it is. So I've got 2 clips that I want to play for you. Okay, 2 clips right here. And he's also going to talk about China. He's going to talk about China, and then this crazy announcement that he said he's going to make. So here's a very, very nervous, jittery, fidgety Prime Minister Carney saying Canada will never be for sale. And then watch Trump's amazing response in the second clip. He kind of hints at it in the first clip, but the second clip is gold.
Response to this too. Mr. President, you have said that Canada should become the 51st state.
Yeah. No. Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, you know, as a real estate developer, you know, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said that's the way it was meant to be. But you know, I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, you know, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the President just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the President has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
That's true. And they have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, you know, they were low and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
Never say never. I've been told no many times before. And actually, by the way, and I always do my Trump impressions as total homage because I love the man. He's truly making America exactly. I mean, every single promise. He's the first politician in my lifetime. I mean, he's not really a politician. This guy's a revolutionary. But, you know, to put it in that kind of box just for a second, he's the first politician in my lifetime who has made very, very pronounced promises during the campaign trail and actually followed through on literally every single one. I dare you to find another politician in our lifetime that has done the same. I dare you. Let me know in the comments. This is the clip I wanted to share with you. So the press kind of pressed him further. So, you know, what do you think after, you know, Carney just said never? Watch what Trump says.
When you consider what Mr. Carney just said, that Canada is not for sale, does this make the discussion a little more difficult to start on?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, time will tell. It's only time. But I say, never say never. I've had many, many things that were not doable, and they ended up being doable, and only doable in a very friendly way. But if it's to everybody's benefit, you know, Canada loves us and we love Canada. That's, I think, the number one thing that's important. But we'll see. I mean, over time, we'll see what happens.
Let me ask you, seriously now, sincerely, whose word has more power? Whose word has more resonance? PM Carney, who thinks he's all tough? Never. I will never. Never. It will never. I talk to the owners of Canada. Or the man who's like calm. I mean, he melts into strength. This is his bread. The man was born to do this. There was divine intervention. It was providence on that day of infamy, July 13th, 2024. We were live when it happened. I truly believe providence was at work. The man is in his element. The man is in the arena. He was born to do this. This is his bread and butter. Canada has nothing to lose and everything to gain. The United States has nothing to lose, I should say, and just a little bit to gain. And Canada has everything to lose and everything to gain. And so all the leverage is on our side. You're going to say no to the United States? You're going to say no to this guy? The strongest president we've had in over 100 years? You're going to say that to this guy? I don't think so. By the way, the United States subsidized pretty much everything, especially military protection. But their GDP has had stagnant growth over the last 10 years. It's like 0.01% growth versus the United States. It's like 10 times that. And so they have no leverage. They have no leverage. And even Trump said, we don't want their cars. Watch this clip right here where Trump says, you know what? We don't want their cars. We're going to make everything ourselves. So we don't need anything from Canada. Watch this.
We are the largest client of the United States in the totality of all the goods. So we are the largest client of the United States. We have a tremendous auto sector between the two of us, and the changes we've made have been helpful. 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere else in the world. And to your question about is there one thing? No, this is a bigger discussion. There are much bigger forces involved, and this will take some time and some discussions, and that's why we're here, to have those discussions, and that is represented by who's sitting around the table.
See, the conflict is, and this is very friendly. We're not. This is not going to be like we had another little blow up with somebody else. That was a much different. This is a very friendly conversation, but we want to make our own cars. We don't really want cars from Canada, and we put tariffs on cars from Canada, and at a certain point, it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars. And we don't want steel from Canada because we're making our own steel, and we're having massive steel plants being built right now as we speak. We really don't want Canadian steel, and we don't want Canadian aluminum and various other things because we want to be able to do it ourselves. And we, because of, past thinking of people, we have a tremendous deficit with Canada. In other words, they have a surplus with us. And there's no reason for us to be subsidizing Canada. Canada's a place that will have to be able to take care of itself economically. I assume they can. I will tell you that Trudeau, when I spoke to him, I used to call him Governor Trudeau. I think that probably didn't help his election. But when I spoke to him, I said, so why are we taking your cars? Why are we taking we want to make them ourselves. I mean, I said, and if the price of your cars went up, or if we put a tariff on your cars of 25%, what would that mean to you? He said, that would mean the end of Canada. He actually said that to me. And I said, that's a strange answer, but I understand his answer. But no, I mean, it's hard to justify subsidizing Canada to the tune of maybe $200 billion a year. We protect Canada militarily, and we always will. We're going to, that's not a money thing. But we always will. But, it's not fair. But why are we subsidizing Canada $200 billion a year, or whatever the number might be? It's a very substantial number. And it's hard for the American taxpayer to say, gee whiz, we love doing that.
That is masterclass negotiating right there. Masterclass diplomacy. Really, for him, a lot of people claim, well, he's so rough around the edges and he rubs people the wrong way and he's abrasive. And no. That was master politics right there. Master. Because Carney, a lot of people missed, that clip is very, very telling. Carney wants to kind of advocate and sell the idea that the United States needs Canada. We're their number one client, and 50% of American car. And Trump just said, without saying it out loud, said, you actually have the balls to what? Well, guess what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the whole world know that you're basically our bitch. I mean, that's exactly what he said. And the taxpayer's sick and tired of, us just kind of babying you around. We don't want your cars. We don't want your steel. We don't want your aluminum. We're going to do everything ourselves. And the guy before you told me if we actually made things on an even keel, That's the end of Canada. You could see Carney just, losing it. His facial expressions. Looks like he was about to bite off his own tongue. He was grinding. He was fidgeting. He was twitching. Oh my goodness, that was a power move by Trump. And I think Carney knows it. And I think Carney shares the same sentiment as Prime Minister Trudeau. So, as productive as people like to call this meeting, I think on a facial value, it's just something for PR, kind of, hey, we're here, we're talking. But I think deep down, I think Trump's saying, look, you need to like ship up or shape out. And Carney is trying to act tough, but Carney is he's going to run all the way home to Canada with his tail between his legs because he can't do anything. There's zero leverage on Canada. You need us. And we're not going to be like Biden and Obama and Kamala. We're not going to be like them and just say, okay, whatever you want, because, we don't want to disrupt our Canadian tourism and Canadian sentiment. No, Trump says, we don't care about that. Enough is enough. You've been taking advantage of us. We've been literally giving you unbelievable protection, unbelievable economic freedom, unbelievable subsidies, and that is over. Ship up or shape out. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get your thoughts on that. And then I just want to leave you with this. Here is the announcement that Trump made that has really been causing a big stir. Listen to what Trump says right here. He says this could be as big as it gets. Watch this.
Have maybe before we go to the Middle East and Saudi Arabia, we're going to UAE and Qatar, and that'll be, I guess, Monday night. Some of you are coming with us. I think before then we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make, like as big as it gets, and I won't tell you on what, but it's going to, and it's very positive. I'd tell you if it was negative or positive. I can't keep that out. It is really, really positive. And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave. But it'll be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject, very important subject. So you'll all be here.
Wow, I'm dying with anticipation. What do you guys think he is talking about? They're headed to the UAE, United Arab Emirates. He says it's going to be the biggest announcement, as big as it gets. It's very positive on a very popular topic or subject. What do you guys think he's talking about? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. Get your very own amazing original made in the USA hat in the link down below. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA. I'll see you soon.